if we correlate the sum of sales versus sum of units sold, right? We do not see a straight line. Right? Now this is by different. Let me just look at here. See, this is sum of units sold. Right? This is sum of sales. I use the product as an agent. Right, that's the first picture. Now let's look at the second picture. This is also sum of units sold versus sales, but I'm grouping the product. The agent is different. The agent is country. Right. In the third picture, the agent is segment. You see that, right? As we sell more, right, it doesn't increase proportionally. Right, and here I also built two slicers. You guys just change and see the impact. Right, and two slicers. One is 2013, the other one is 2014. Right. Okay. So we have an interesting observation here, right? We do not have more sales as the unit sold increases. That's very strange. So that means some variables is going to play an impact on this in addition to the unit sold. So that's why we will do the average profit sold by products. So here we need to calculate, right? We need to calculate, we need to add one column, which is the profit, right? Here we go. I already added. And you can just look at it, right? This is a new column, right? It's called profit unit sold. That is per unit sold, right? So you just, for the calculator field, you just have to type in the financial, that's the table name, and use the breaks, right, for the column. And inside it, I have the profit, which is over here, right? That's the profit. And that's one of the columns name, and divide by the financials, and also units sold is the name of one column here, right? So in that way, you can create a new column, and create a new column. You can just do this. I think here, right? New column, right? Click new column and type in this expression, and you will get this new column. I'm not going to do that again because I already have one, right? Okay. Now let's just close this. So look at here. This is the average of the profit unit sold, right? That's not individual profit unit sold. It's the average of units sold. Right. Look here. Right. If I click this, so the y-axis is the average of units sold, and the y-axis is the product. That's the first picture. Right. So what I'm doing here is I want to look at the average of the unit profit, right? And by different product, by different countries, and by different segments to see which factor, right, has the biggest impact. Right. It looks like the product doesn't affect much, countries neither, right? But segments seems to have the biggest impact on the unit profit, right? You see, by different segments, right? The unit profit, the average is so different, right? Small business has the highest unit profit, enterprises has the lowest, right? So that really gave you some insights on what factors, right, have the biggest impact on the profit. Make sense? Any questions? Okay, now let's do a little bit more. So for each of these graphs, let's add some, let's add more details, right? Let's say for this graph. So we have the x-axis to be the segment, because we know segment has the biggest impact, right? So we use segment as the x-axis. Y-axis, of course, is the same, right? It's the average profit, unit profit. And in which let's also use an agent, right? Product as the agent. The first one has the product as the agent for different products. And you can see that different product really doesn't affect much within each segment, right? It's almost sometimes it's almost the same, sometimes it's different, but not by much. Now we're also now in the second graph, right? The legend we use the country. We're going to see within each segment how the country is going to affect the unit profit, right? And you can see that, right? Country doesn't really have the biggest impact. Still, segment has the biggest impact. Make sense?
Yes.
Right. So it's just variation of the pictures we created, right? You can just play with the X and Y axis and the legend, right? And you can do a lot of you can get a lot of insights. Okay. Now looks like we're fast. Now let's move on to let me come back again. My presentation. Okay, our last topic on business intelligence is the professional dashboards. Before we get to that, let me ask, do we have any questions? Okay.
No, Professor.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, no? Okay, sure. Now, the professional dashboards, usually you will have multiple tables and they are connected. I'll talk about this a little bit later. And you'll have to specify the data models. So meaning how the fields of different tables were connected. And you will need to format some videos. So make the video looks more professional. And you may want to add filters and some controls, right? So so you can make change. You can click different buttons to make changes, and the picture will look different, right? Now, for this purpose, we're going to use a more sophisticated data set, which is the sales data, which has the sales data, right? The sales data is connected to customer data, to the regions data, and to the product data. Let me show you. Let me show you this one here. Right, let me first show you this picture. Then I'll come back to the Power BI. So you can see we have the sales data, which is the May table. Right, it tells you the channels, the country code. I'm sorry, currency code, customer name index. Right. I tell you the deliver region index, order quantity, order date, order number, and description, so on and so forth. So here is all about the sales. But instead of listing the customer's detailed information, they actually use a customer ID, right? Customer ID, and then link to customer's data, right? Customer's name, and all the other information about the customer, right? Also, region table, right? Where this product was delivered, right? Talk about it. Now in the sales data, you only have an ID. Now that ID refers to a unique record in the region table, right, which has the full details such as the city, full address, right, latitude, longitude, postcode, so on and so forth. And finally, the product you sell, right, in the sales data, there's just one product ID, right, which links to the which points, right, to a unique product in the product table, right, which has the product name and many other things. Okay, so this is one biggest complication, and I think in the ICP projects, most likely you're going to deal with this. So let me just look at. So I need to open a different project. Let me just close this. Don't save. Sales analysis report. Okay, this is a spreadsheet with multiple tabs. Again, every time this window is going to jump up, just close it. Don't sign in. Um, Now you can use it for free. So this is the okay table we have. This is the dashboard we have. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, if you go to this is the table view, right? Now, let me first go to model view. So here we go, right? That's the sales data table. We have actually four tabs in a spreadsheet. Right. The first one is this is sales data, right? And this is the customer data, product data, and region data. And the sales data, of course, is the main table has the sales information with IDs of the customer, product, and regions, and link to each of the subtable. Right, and the relationship you can see here, if you activate it, you will see we have these are properties. Right, it tells you which field in this table. Right, let's see, table sales data. We have the column, customer name index. Actually, it's customer name ID, and this is linked to customer data, which is customer index, which is customer ID. Right, this is a one-to-many relationship because the customer data only have one unique index. That's the customer ID, right? But this customer ID could appear multiple times in the sales data. Right here, that's the mating to one, right? Relationship. That's the cardinality. Okay. Now, this is the customer name, customer index. Forget about this. Oh, that's the customer data. Manage relationships, new table, no, table tools. Okay, let's just go back to the report. Right. Okay, also take a look at the data. Let's see. Open. Oh, actually not here. Let's just look at data in Excel. You'll see how the data was looking, how the data looks like. All right, so see, we have four tabs, right? Sales or orders information. We have customer information, customer index, customer name, region, right? Address, index, and products. It's a very simple example, but I'm sure yours will be more complicated, right? Let's just close this. Okay. Now in this table, there's several things. Of course, this is the same, right? That's the text box we just created, just to name to give this dashboard a title. And these are the totals, right? I'm sure you know how to do this. Now, only and also we have the map, right? We have the trend chart, right? We have the revenue by product. And here's some unique things I want to show you is the top products, right? Look at here. Every picture I have a title. I would suggest you to do the same because just make it easier to read. So, and here we have top 5 products, right? Top 5 products. So how to select top 5 or top 1, top 2, right? So you need to add filters. Let me just go. Let me first talk about the title of each of these pictures. I think that's what you do. It's here. No, it's not here. Okay. So click on this picture. I think go to general. And here's title. Right? You can type in the title, select headings, right? Fonts, colors, whatever you want to do. Okay. There's a lot of things you can play around. These are the title. Now, how to do top 5? Right? I don't want every product. For example, you have 100 products. There's no way to show all of them. Right? Suppose I want to show the top 5 or something. So you need to add. Now you need to use the filters. Right? So here, filter on this view, right? Top 5. So what you have to do is just drag the products over here and select top N, right? And specify how many you need to, how many tops you want to show. That's it. So this filter will apply to all the charts on this report. Okay. Now, one other thing is you need to come up with the control panel so your managers can, let's say, can play around. Right. For example, you have three channels to sell your product, right? Distributors, export, or wholesale. Right. Now, selecting different channels, you will see different sales data. All right. Now, how do we do that? So let's just, let me remove this temporarily. So let's do it from scratch again. So here, that's the channels, right? So that's channels is in the table of sales data right here. Right. So open the table and draw and drag the sales data. I'm sorry, drag the channel data over here. So immediately it actually allows you to make different choices. Here, I want to, that doesn't look nice. I want to make it look nicer. So let's specify this one to be a slicer. Okay, select slicer. And here we go. Now, if you don't select everything, if you don't select, if you don't make selections, it pretty much select everybody, right? All right. Now, how about this date, right? I also want to make this as a control, right? So you can play around. So let me remove this for now. Here, order date, right? Let's do the same thing. Let's drag over date here. Initially, it's going to show you like a ugly table with all these dates. So, okay, I'll come back to your question soon. So let's do this as a slicer, right? Now, it tells you, it gave you like a drop-down table, with years and quarters and months and so on. Now, let's say I don't want that. Right? It doesn't. Let's do it like a slicer or something, right? So so let's click on this and make this like a date. Okay. Now these are all the dates. There's so many dates over here, right? So let's make this more smooth. Let's go to slicer setting. Right, we use, let's see, is it we use here? Slicer, heading, slicer, oh, style, right? Choose style, use between. That's it. Okay, this is better. I like this, but if you want to have something else, it's up to you, right? You all can choose. Just make choices in the options, in the visual and options. All right, any questions?
No, Professor.
Okay. Now,
Uh,
so yeah, go ahead.
Professor, I want to ask, how do we create the relationship between data in the from scratch? Like we we drag a table in some columns, like if we don't have the card in this place.
Yes, so it's actually very simple. You drag this, you click on this, right? And move this one to the corresponding where a customer index, right? Name index. That's it. It says already arranged between the two columns. And let me delete this and
Yeah.
it's just drag and draw. Let me remove this. I think I'll remove this. You want to delete the relationship? Yes. Okay. Now let's do it again. So here you have customer index, right? You know the customer index is corresponding to the customer name index. It's the same. So click on this and move it over here and overlap with its correspondence in our table. That's it. You make it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Automatically, it shows you many to one, right? Because you only have one. So every index in the customer data table is unique, right? But in the sales data, you have multiple. So the system is going to automatically detect the kind of relationship. Good question. Okay, we spent about an hour. Any questions? All right. Now that's great. Just if you have more questions, you can email me afterwards. All right. Now let's close this. Right. And don't save. Okay, let's see if I miss anything. Okay, let me just recap. By the way, all the notes I just talked about, right? I have some pictures show you if you miss something. I have some pictures show you here where to make changes and what button to click and so on. And this is right. This is the top 5. The other one is how to change the title, right? And here is how to change the control panel. Okay.